2 p.m. Pacific time. It's almost dinner time there on the East Coast. I am on the West Coast in a very, very hot November day in Los Angeles. We are going to get close to 90 today, so it is quite warm here. It definitely does not feel like fall, does not feel like autumn, but I know it is that time of year, and I love that. Like, our town has some Christmas decorations up already, and that is so fun. So it is autumn, it is fall. We're gonna roll right into winter and Christmas here as well, and that's what really inspired the show. Is I wanted to do some quick and easy gift sets that you can make and gift if you want to do some handmade gifts this holiday season. And I see we've got a good crew here. Taysa and Michelle are helping us in the background. Hi guys. And then we have Monica and Teresa, and Monica from Rhode Island. Hello. And Monique, guys, hello. Tracy, hi there. Oh my goodness. Send the warm weather our way, Julie. Oh, I heard it was cold where you are, Michelle. Oh my gosh. I know, that's the thing. This is the time of year where it starts to really diversify, and some people are going to have snow, and then others like us are going to have heat waves. So it's just a really weird time of year. Although I would rather have it cold because it feels more appropriate for the season. This hot weather is a bit much for November. Hello, Robin. I saw a bunch of other names. Susan J. from Seattle. Hello there. I know I missed a ton of names that popped up. Leah, hello there. Sue from Wisconsin. Teresa from Michigan, hello. You had snow last night. I love that. I wish we had snow. I really do. Hello, Dee and Susan and Vicky. Hi, guys. Okay, and Susan B, hello from Texas. All right, so we're gonna do gift sets today. I am using some of the pearls I showed in our last show that had all the beautiful check glass pearls, because as we were looking at them, I started to kind of play with color combos during that show. And then I was like, oh, I really want to make these into some actual designs. So I did one that was a brown and blue combination. And that's kind of my sample piece, but I'm going to do a holiday version here live here. Hello, Janet, I see there. And Karen, hello. And Anne from New York, hello. And Pam and Susan, oh, thank you. I know, I'm trying to wear a sweater even though it's actually very, very hot here. Hello, Netta. Okay, and then, oh, Millie's here too. Hello, Millie. And Tanya, hello. All right, so we're gonna do a strung bracelet and earring gift set. One thing I really do like about the earrings is I did a little something fancy with the wire. It wasn't hard to do, but I always like to show a new technique. So, you know, of course, there's so many ways you can make a strung bracelet. There's infinite possibility with thousands of beads, but I do like it when I can show kind of a fun new little technique that you could apply to any bead. So that's gonna be for this. We're gonna do a little fun wire wrapping. And then I also brought out some Prestige Crystal. Prestige Crystal is really great for gift giving as well. It's so sparkly. So if we have time, we'll do a necklace and earring set. Very simple, very easy, great for gifts. Doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of money either. So that's always good. Hello, Linda from Boston and Lisa from Pennsylvania. Hello, and Rosetta. So if you are new to us, welcome. We are here live. We do this a couple times a week. And then what you see on my table, if there's anything you want to learn more about or are interested in, there's a shopping bag icon up on your screen. If you click on that, it'll show you all of my goodies, including my tools and my beading mat. You can even add it right to your shopping cart from there. I don't disappear, I don't go away. There's the heart icon. If you like what you see, it gives me little floaty hearts. And then there's a share icon where you can share it. And I've had people say that they can share it to themselves, which is a really great way of kind of flagging a video if you want to go back and rewatch it. I thought that was super clever. And then speaking of rewatch, all the videos are saved and archived, and you can always go back and rewatch later. They become available just shortly after we say goodbye for the day. All right, I think that's all the particulars. Oh, and then the other quick note is if you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, welcome. You are watching live as well. Please just note, I can't see your comments live. If you want to comment and be part of the community over here on Beadaholique, follow the link in your video that you're watching. It'll take you over to the website, and on the website, when you comment, I can see your comments, your questions, things like that. And of course, everything is 40% off. So everything you see on my table is 40% off with the closing sale. All right, let's see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna flip my camera down. And hello, Chrissy from Arizona. Yes, so it is hot out there. I should not even have my door open because it is definitely a warm one. Okay, so what I want to show you is what we're going to do. So like I said, I did a sample version, and then what I'm going to do is a holiday collection here so that we see it in a different colorway, but it'll be the same exact premise and it'll be all the same techniques. Oh, hello, Francie. So when you're making gift sets, or at least when I'm making gift sets, I tend to keep it a little bit, if you will, safer in terms of the style and the scale. Like, I love really long earrings. I would not hesitate to wear a 3 or 4 inch earring, but that's not for everybody. So I think it's kind of nice if you are making a gift set, unless you really know that person's personal taste, to kind of keep it a little bit on the more universally appealing side. Oh, Terry from snowy Ohio, hello. Oh, Northwestern PA is not cold, I'm guessing right now, Karen. So I kept it a little bit more simple, a little bit more elegant, and I think that's kind of a good way to go when you are making gift sets. It just means that the person has more option to like wear it. It's just a little bit easier to gift. So these were beautiful pearls, 4 millimeters and 6 millimeters. They're all there in the shopping bag if you want to see the colors. But I did a really pretty like steel blue with 2 tones of brown, and I really like how this turned out. Oh, hello, Kat from Tennessee. Hello. And Pam, I saw your question. The magnets are very strong. I'll show you here in just a moment how to open and close them. This is my favorite magnet. It's very inexpensive and is very strong. And it comes in a bunch of different finishes too. And then, like I said, for the earring, I want to show you how to do this little wire wrapping. It's not hard, but it just adds that little extra special kind of designer touch to it. Just a little something above and beyond a simple like wrapped wire loop on each side here. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you the colors we're going to do this bracelet in. We are going to do a holiday version. So we've got some snow pearls, some olive pearls, and this really beautiful red pearl as well. So you can do the same technique in a wear everyday version or a holiday. And I am going to add 8 millimeter pearls into the mix, whereas this one here just had 6s, but 2 colors of 6s and 4s. So it'll be kind of fun to show a contrast, but I'll do the little fancy wire wrapping still, even though I'm using 8s. So we'll show all of that. And then the magnets are really nice and strong. So in this one, I did use the thread and wire protectors. I'm gonna do that again here when we make the bracelet here in the video, just to show how to use them if they're new to anyone. And then I love these magnets. So here is the magnet, and it is very strong. I tend to put my fingernail, that's probably why my nails don't look great, between it to open it. So it holds really well. And this really is my go-to magnet of choice for clasps. And I think they're under $1 with the 40% off. Oh no, is the brown sold out? I hope not. It was in stock as of a day ago. So maybe, I think it's Bistra is this color. If it is sold out, maybe, Michelle or Thaisa can find a good substitute as well. They're really pretty. These are all check glass pearls, so they're very, very affordable, and their colors are very pretty. And hello, Kathy from Arizona. I like the name Giggles, though. I always want to call you Giggles. All right, and then I do, like I said, I have some other things on my table. If time permits, we're going to do a pretty little simple, sparkly jewelry set, necklace, and earrings using some prestige crystal. So we'll see how our timing goes here. I definitely want to do the strung bracelet. Oh, good. Thank you, Anne. Okay, they're in the bag. And there's a lot of other colors to choose from as well. These I just thought were really pretty. Like I said, for that check glass pearl show that we did last, I just was playing with the color combos in my hands. I was like, oh, I got to do something with these. Okay. And then... See, Judy, I'm with you. I use my nails for everything. I know they are what they are. They mean that we're crafters, we're creators. I'm a gardener, so my nails are not perfect. Okay, I'm going to open these up. So this was the 8 millimeter size. And, you know, I would get my nails done, but I feel like I wreck them within a day. So I don't know. I just live with it. It is what it is. I don't want to worry about my nails. because I also love doing home improvement projects and, you know, everything else. So they just get a workout. Okay, so this is the snow pearl. This is 6 millimeters. The red is an 8 millimeter. And the olive, which you get a giant strand of, is the 4 millimeter. So we're going to do 3 different sizes. See, I haven't tried gel polish. I know, I've heard good things about it. I know like regular polish, it's really just a day before something is nicking it or it doesn't look right. And then that's actually a lot of money in this. Like manicures are much more expensive than they used to be. Power gel. Oh, power gel. Gel is the best. Okay, maybe I'll try gel. Does it, though, when you take the gel off, does it like leave marks on your nail? That's the only thing I've been concerned about too. Oh, I love it, Judy. Yes, I agree. You've got to have some dirt under your fingernails. Yeah, I'm always out there digging. Okay, so I'm going to use a 0.015 for my beading wire. It's just a basic beading wire. And then this is 7 strand. You can use a 19 strand as well, or a 49. I really look at this though, the 0.015, and this is a pretty nice simple bracelet. I feel like your 7 strand is going to be fine for it. It's also a lot more economical if you are making gifts and kind of watching your budget this season. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Oh, snowy Pennsylvania, Lisa. Okay, so I am going to cut myself. I want to do about a 7-inch bracelet. I'm going to give myself 3 inches on each side. So I'm going to cut 13 inches. Oh, see, okay, it's hard to take off the power gel. Yeah, see, I've always been a little bit worried about taking any of that stuff off. I've never done artificial nails either. So it's just, I don't know, I worry about that stuff. Okay, so we've got our beading wire. And then we have got this guy. This is our bead stopper. It's like a cute little accordion. And you just put one end in it. We'll do it about 3 inches from the end. So that's what we've got there. And then we're gonna put on a crimp tube to start. I prefer crimp tubes. There are crimp beads in the world and crimp tubes in the world. I like crimp tubes. I find them easier to work with, and I find they hold a bit better. So just if you are struggling with crimp beads, maybe try a crimp tube. Okay. And then, oh, essentially stickers. That's a good idea. Lily and Fox. Is that for your nails? Like nail stickers that go over them? That's a good idea. I've seen some of those done really well. I just think it probably takes a little bit of practice. Okay, I'm going to start with the pattern here. I'm going to go with one green 4 millimeter, and we're just stringing it straight on. Of course, with beading wire, you don't need a needle. And it just rests down there. So we've already got that little crimp tube. And then I'm going to do a white one. I think these are going to be really pretty done up. And it's going to be a nice Christmas palette. Yeah, I'm definitely hand making a lot of gifts this year. So I've been thinking about what would people like, what would they wear. You know, you can always customize it and personalize it too with like initial charms, things like that. So I just kind of started here, and it's actually coming along very, very quickly. So here's what those pearls look like together. Total Christmas. Yeah, you can't get much more Christmassy than this. You've got the green, the white, and the red, and you have the 3 different sizes, which is pretty fun on here too. So I think I'll just do 7 inches of this. Our clasp is going to add, between the crimp tubes, the thread and wire protectors, and the clasp, I don't even think we're adding an inch. So we're going to be adding about 3/4 of an inch with the finishing pieces. So maybe what I'll do, and if you take the crimp tubes out of there, you're looking more closer to 1/2 inch. Maybe I'll bead like 6.5 inches, between 6.5 and 7. And then we'll work on our finishing techniques here. I think the thread and wire protectors are a nice added touch for like giftability. It just kind of looks like little touches, which are nice. So let's see here. And I'm also going to guess that you can make multiple bracelets out of a single strand of beads. I think especially that little 4 millimeter one is going to really stretch. Oh, I love that. Francis saying last year I made stretch bracelet for all my nieces. The bead sizes are 4, 6, and 8. Yes. So here, this is, oh wait, is this, no, this should be an 8. So 4, 6, and 8 are the bead sizes in this one, but the sample one here was just 4 and 6. So you can already kind of see the difference. This is going to be a little bit more petite, and this one's going to have a little bit more structure to it because this is 4 and 6s. 4, 6, and 8. And we can do a side-by-side comparison too, so you can kind of see which one you might want to do if you want to keep it a little on the smaller side, a little daintier, and just do 4s and 6s, or if you want to do the 8s in there as well. And these are check glass pearls. They come in a lot of other colors too, and that's what we were talking about last week, was all the different colors of the check glass pearls and all the different things you can do with them. They're just a really nice bead. All right, this is feeling so festive. I'm gonna see how much I have here as soon as I put on one more green bead, because I kind of want to start and end with green beads. So here it is. Oh, thank you, Lydia. Yeah, you know that brown with the blue is really pretty. So those beads should all be there in the shopping bag so you can see their colors. So let's see how long this is. This is a little shy of 6 inches. I'm going to do one more segment. Okay. And then what we'll do, so I'll just do one more and we'll see where we're at, what that added for us. And then that clasp and everything is going to add between 1/2 and 3/4. All right, so this is looking like it's going to be about 6 and probably 1/4. So this will be 6 and 1/4. So you see what this looks like. And it's going to be really pretty wrapped around. Actually, that would make a gorgeous Christmas ornament too. We were talking about memory wire before too. That would be really pretty on memory wire as a Christmas ornament. Okay, I'm going to put another crimp tube on. And then let's do our finishing. Okay, so there's that little crimp tube slid on there. And I've got another magnetic clasp, again, same style. Your kitty swallowed Opalon. Oh no. Jane, I'm so sorry. I hope he's okay. Okay. Here, we're going to get this separated out right now. Yeah, I just signed my kitty up for pet insurance. I did that here this morning. I was like, oh, I think I need to do this for peace of mind. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. We've got the crimp tube on here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through one side of the thread and wire protector, loop it around, go back down through the other. So it has these 2 channels here. And what you can do is you can see that there's like a little groove, and this is going to sit down into the groove. Oh, Jane, you're going to have to let us know if the kitty's okay. I really hope the kitty's okay. Okay, so we've got it in there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to, before we put it through the crimp tube, if you've never worked with these before, this is when you add the loop to your clasp. Okay, he's fine. Okay, thank you. Yes, I am getting a little bit, I guess, OCD about putting away my beading supplies after I'm done, because Twixie's getting adventurous. Okay, so we've got that. And then what this does, if you're not familiar, is basically you see how we've got the metal loop here? And what that's doing now is instead of rubbing directly on your wire, and this would be applicable too if you had thread, is it's now rubbing on metal. So it's rubbing on the underside of the thread and wire protector. So that's going to help with wear and tear. So that's nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back through the crimp tube. So just back through the crimp tube. And we're going to slide up that crimp tube. So you see how it's right there next to your thread and wire protector. And I kind of like to give it a little squeeze to bring those ends of the thread and wire protector in just a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab just our standard crimping pliers. So if you are, see, that magnetic clasp is very strong. If you are new to jewelry making, Check out when you buy a pair of crimping pliers that you get one that's usually called standard. And it will say that it's for like 2x2 crimp tubes and crimp beads. There's also Mighty, which are for larger crimps. So just kind of check the listing and make sure it's just kind of your everyday crimping plier. Oh, okay, Pam, thank you for letting me know. Oh, Pam in Sherman Oaks, hello, you're hot today too. This is crazy. Maybe Michelle and Thaisa can look into that and please add them if they don't mind. Sometimes I miss things. I try to double check, but sometimes I miss. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try to avoid that magnetic clasp because it will want to stick. See how it wants to stick to what we're working on. But you want it in that back notch, if you can kind of see that. And then what we're going to do is I always pull the two beading wires apart. And then you're going to give it a good squeeze. So you give it a good squeeze and it forms that crimp tube into like a little kidney bean. If we see it right here. And you've got one beading wire strand into each side channel. And the difference between crimping pliers is usually what size crimp beads they work with. There's also ones for the magic crimps, which is a totally different style of crimp bead and works in a different way. So you just kind of want to look for one that says like regular standard 2x2 crimps, things like that. Nothing Mighty. Mighty is going to usually be for your bigger crimps. Great question though. Okay, and then what we do is we're going to put the crimped crimp tube upright on its side, basically, in that front oval notch to fold it over on itself. And here we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to crimp that. And it folds it, and you can see it forms like a little sandwich, a nice tight little sandwich. So now we're going to take it, and I like to go through one bead. You can go through more. Some people trim it right after they finish crimping it. So some people trim their side wire right there. I like to go through one bead. I feel like it gives a little bit more security. And then I'm going to let gravity just let all the beads fall down here, and I'm going to go do the other side now. Same exact way. And then this bracelet will be done, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison of what it looks like with the 3 sizes of beads versus the 2 side. Janet, you had your first frost last night? Oh my goodness. I am envious. I don't know about you, Pam, but I know living here in Southern California, I do kind of wish that we had a few cooler days. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we went through that one side channel right there. Same thing. We're going to now go through this side channel, and hopefully that's showing pretty good there. So you can see how these guys work. And then we need to grab the other side of our clasp. And we're going to put that on as well. And so you see that you just kind of slide that down so that the loop goes over the one side and just rests in the middle. Then you can pull this down a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll go through our crimp tube again on this side, and then we'll tighten this up. So we got to go through the crimp tube now. Oh yeah, I don't like driving on ice. That's one thing that I am grateful for, is don't have to drive on ice here. But that also means we don't get snow or really wintry weather either. Okay, so here we go. So we've pulled it down, and this is where you just kind of double check your bracelet. Make sure there's no like big gaps of wire. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it so that we cinch it up. So you just kind of give it a tug, and it will cinch up the space here. I am gonna pinch this again so that this one is same as the other one. And then what you can even do is you can even take your clasp at this point and latch it, and that gives you something more to hold on to. It also makes sure that your bracelet isn't too stiff. So I tend to, before I crimp that last crimp tube, I lay it down on my table, and I just make sure that it's got some flexibility to it so that's comfortable when you wear it. So that's a good way of kind of just making sure it's nice and loose. Oh, first snow last night in Northeast Ohio. My gosh, I am jealous. Okay, again, same process. And what we'll do here is make sure, and by having this clasped like this, it does kind of keep the magnet away from your tool, which can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes where it wants to stick to your tool. So this does kind of help a little bit with that. Okay, I'm just doing it in that back notch. And now I'm going to fold it over. See how I can now hold it apart because I've got something more to hold on to. So that makes it easier. Okay, there we go. We've crimped our crimp bead. I like that. Keep a standing tiny fan by you when you work on hot days. That's a good idea. Southern Ontario in Canada has snow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we are to that point. It's already like a third through November, right? Like we're getting there. So it is snowy time. Okay, so we now, it's gone through both sides. It has the thread and wire protector on both sides, which is going to help with your wear and tear. So you see, you can now pull this magnet apart, and when you're pulling it apart, you're pulling on that thread and wire protector versus your wire. So that's nice. And then it's at this point you go in and you trim your tails. At least this is what I do. I like to trim my tails at the very end. Linda in Boston, make it snow tonight. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so here is a very simple but elegant strung bracelet using the 3 different sizes of pearls in a holiday pattern, and we'll do a little side by side. And then here is more of an everyday color palette, only using 2 sizes of pearls, but 2 different colors of your 6mm. So you see that they're both the exact same design, just different choice of beads and bead colors. What are the 2 indications for the 2 kinds of wires? What are the 2 indications for the 2 kinds of wire? Oh, okay, let me see where that is. So we've got the wire that we're using is 0.015, and this is 7 strand. You can do 7 or 19 or 49. Lots of people like a 19 strand. That's a really good medium range. I still use a lot of 7. I find it very, very economical. I think too, when you're doing a simple little bracelet like this, a 7 works totally fine. So hopefully that answered your question. This will also usually tell you what size crimp bead and crimp tube. So here it says you need a size number 1 crimp bead, and here you need a size number 2 crimp tube. And then I always use the 2x2 crimp tubes. Okay, so now I want to show you how to make a matching earring set for this. So we're going to do it again in holiday colors, but I'll show you the sample in everyday colors. And there are so many more colors of these pearls on the website too, so you can definitely pick out your favorites. So here we did some fun, fancy wrapping, and it was not hard to do. So we're going to start with a 24 gauge head pin. So this is a thin little head pin. This is a 24 gauge head pin. We are going to put a 4mm pearl onto it, followed by a 6mm. And then what we're going to do is we are going to grab our wire looping pliers, and you could of course grab round nose instead. And we're going to make a little loop. So I'm grabbing it where there's just a wee bit of air. Let's see, there's like a little gap between the bead and my plier. These are wire looping pliers, so they really do make life easier. Oh, good, Netta. Okay, I'm glad that helped. I'm glad that helped for sure. Okay, so this is how we made our little loop. Now I'm going to grab it with my chain nose, and we're going to wrap. So this is the same as we always do when we're just doing little wrapped wire loops. Okay, so I've done it. Now at this point in the past, if we just wanted a simple wrapped wire loop, we would just trim our tail, or trim it and tuck our tail. But we're going to do a little spiral. So we're just going to grab hold of this, and we're going to take our hands or chain nose pliers, and we're just going to wrap the wire around the bead and sit it between your 2 beads. And you can take your chain nose pliers too. It sometimes is a little bit easier because this is not the longest tail, and you're just going to wrap it. And so you just wrap it at least once. It's going to stick if you just wrap it once, but you can do it once or twice, and that gives you this little spiral. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim that tail and tuck it just like normal. So this is a fun way of kind of elevating a pretty simple little dangle. And here we'll do, and we're just gonna tuck that wire end. And then here is our little elegant spiral dangle. So it will work with a heavier gauge head pin. It's just gonna be a lot harder. So the 24 gauge is really soft and easy to bend. If you go with a heavier gauge, you can definitely do this. It's just gonna be a little bit harder on your hands. I would definitely say use your chain nose pliers to give you some leverage there. All right, now we're gonna do the midsection. So the midsection has that wrappings too. So you see we've done a couple wrappings in the midsection. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some 26 gauge artistic wire. You could do this with 24 gauge as well. You might be able to even do it with 22 gauge. You know, you just can kind of experiment. So we're gonna need a bit of this. So I'm gonna cut 10 inches. That's probably more than we need, but I got stuck with not enough last time I did it. So I'm gonna cut 10 inches and we are going to create a wrapped wire loop on one end. So we're just gonna go about an inch from here, push down, rotate up. Okay, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add my dangle at this point. So I'm gonna open that up. And then we're just gonna kind of notch that guy open, put our little dangle on. So that one's already on there. So that one's already latched. And we're just gonna do some wraps. So this is what we do a lot. So this is all standard stuff. If you've done this, you've probably done this 100 times, pretty basic. You're just connecting 2 wrapped wire loops, tuck your end, and now we're ready to add our beads. And then we're gonna get fancy. So I'm gonna do that beautiful red bead as well. So maybe I'll do, I mean, we could make this longer and do a red, a green, a white, a red, a white, and a green. I think I have enough wire to make this work. So we could do this. So you got this really pretty like holiday strand right here. Or you could keep it a little shorter like this one here. And I think I'm gonna have enough wire. This will work. So this one was only 3 beads. This one's gonna be 5 beads. It's gonna be the exact same technique though. And yeah, I'll have enough. So we'll do it with all of them just to kind of show a little difference. So up here, you're gonna grab it again, just have that little gap of air, squeeze, push down, rotate up, crisscross, and we're gonna make a couple wraps. This is now the top of our earring. Okay, so you've done a couple wraps, you're coming around the front, and we're gonna do the same thing we did with the head pin, but we're gonna keep going because now we're using a length of wire instead of a head pin which had like a shorter end to it. So we're just gonna twist it across the top bead and twirl it around. You can do it once or twice. So it gave it like a little rim, like a little neck of wire. Now we're going to twist it around the next bead. And the same thing, go around it twice. Now we're going to twist it around the middle bead. Same thing, go around it twice. And this is looking very festive. I like it in the Christmas colors, okay? And then when we get down to the last bead, we're gonna do the same thing and we're gonna twist it around our previous wire wrapping. So we're gonna go ahead, go on down, give it a couple twists, and then we're gonna trim it and tuck it. Oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. Really, hopefully you're seeing that this is easy to do. And I don't have a ton of wire left. I have about maybe 2 inches of wire left and I needed that to hang on to. So for the 3 beads, the 10 inches was pretty good actually. And then let's see what we've got. So this is our pretty wire wrapped bead segment right there. And so that's really fun. Oh, thank you, Linda. It's not hard. Just practice with it. But what the key is using a thinner gauge wire. I think it would be hard if you had a thicker wire. It would be stiffer and you might have some kinks. And then you just add your earring hook as normal because you've got that loop waiting for you. And there you go. You have this really pretty, oh, thank you, Diane. A really pretty festive little earring that's going to match your bracelet set. So you can imagine if you did 2 of these, you can see that it would be a really pretty little set there. And then it does look like an old-fashioned Christmas ornament. I totally agree. I looked at these when I was doing it. I was like, that definitely looks like that. And then here's the little shorter version. So you don't have to do quite as much. So there's the shorter version of it with its matching little bracelet. Oh, the wire's not in the cart. Okay, thank you, Pam. Michelle, can you please add 26 gauge artistic wire to the cart? You could also do it with 24. I think 24 would be okay too. So 2 little sets right here. And then I think we have time. I wanted to show how to do a super quick and easy little crystal gift set. Can you also wrap on the bracelet? Oh, ooh. You can. Okay, so we're going to troubleshoot this. Great question. I think what you would do, because this is using beading wire, and why don't we just do this to test it out? I'm just going to do a sample swatch. You're going to have to do a little bit of experimenting. You would probably need quite a bit of wire. So let's see how much I cut here, because I like this idea of doing it on the bracelet. This is fun. This is why we do these live. So 6, 12, okay, I cut myself 15 inches. So I think what you would do, if I was gonna do this, is I would make the bracelet as normal. So I would just stick with this because you're gonna need that beading wire on the inside to keep it attached and keep that clasp on there. And then I think I would probably go right in the spot between the bead and the crimp tube. And I would try to do some wrappings. We're gonna see if this works. So you could probably undo this, it might be easier. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna try to get ourselves started here. Getting started might be the most challenging part because I feel like once we get going, we're gonna be fine. Okay, so we wire wrapped it a couple times between the crimp tube and the first bead. And we're going to trim our wire at the end, but that gave us an anchor. And then what we'll do is we're going to wrap around that first bead. Okay. And then go around the neck of it, like the in-between. Go around the second bead. Okay, go around. My only thought is this might make your bracelet kind of stiff, but we're going to see. Maybe what you would do is when you string it, you would add a little gap purposefully. So here's how it's looking, winding it around. Yeah, you could run it up through the green beads first as an anchor for sure. I'm also going to show you if this feels really stiff or not here in a minute, because it's not hard to do. This is coming along quite easily. But I'm going to see if this bracelet still bends after we do this. Okay, so it's really festive. It's really fun seeing all that wiry swirls. Maybe it should be done while it's closed. Oh, that's a good idea. So it doesn't get too stiff. I like that idea. Okay, good idea. And then you'd go through the middle and you would go. All right. This is pretty. It almost feels like you're putting like a tinsel or like a garland around a Christmas tree as you're doing this. Okay, so 15 inches did about half of it. So I'm almost to the end. 15 inches did about half of it. So you'd need about 30 inches. It is stiffer. It is definitely stiffer, but I think it's still totally wearable. So let me see. I like the idea of doing it when it's closed. So it is a little bit stiffer. You see all those swirls. I think you guys are right. I think do it when it is closed, because that's going to help keep your round shape. I think I would also give myself a purposeful gap in the beading wire. I would probably give myself at least 1/4 of an inch where you just exposed wire, which is what we always say never do. But when you are putting this wire between the beads, it's definitely like condensing them. It's making them really a lot tighter. So I would leave myself 1/4 inch extra of a gap, and I think that might work really well. But yeah, it's really pretty. You can wire wrap them. You can do the bracelet like that to match the earrings. So that's really a pretty look. All right, I like it. I like it when we come up with new ideas. All right, I'm going to show you really, really quickly and easily how to make a pretty crystal gift set. It's going to come together so fast. So if you are gifting jewelry, again, it's nice if things don't take a lot of time. If they're on the more budget side is always nice too. At least I think so. And of course, everything is 40% off right now, so that does help. I have some pretty crystal beads here. These are prestige, so they're very, very sparkly. I think I'm just going to use the small ones. I'm just going to do a really petite little small thing here, but I'm going to show you. Okay, so for the necklace, it is what is 28 gauge wire? So 28 gauge wire would probably work just fine as well. 28 gauge is just a bit thinner than the 26. Great question. Okay, so my favorite little trick is you take a pre-made chain necklace with the clasp already attached. You find the midway point and you cut it in half. And I like doing this because it not only gives you chain, but it lets you know that your clasp is super secure, is already attached. You didn't have to buy a clasp, a jump ring, and chain. Oh, can you wrap only one bead, red? Yes, absolutely. I can show you that. Do you guys want to see just the one red bead wrap? I can do that real quick, and then we'll go back to the prestige. All right. So I have some wire here. Ooh, you could do a floating Christmas pearl necklace on that chain. That would be beautiful. Okay, so if you're going to wire wrap just one, you start out the same way. Make your little loop, grab it, do your wraps. Okay, after you've done a couple wraps, you just trim your tail. That was not a very good trim, but I'm going to still tuck it. So I'm just tucking that tail. And then this is what you have. So you basically have an eye pin. We're just going to put on the one red pearl, and I have more wire than I needed because it was just one bead. Then you're going to create a wrapped wire loop right here on top of it. So you're making basically a really nice little link, and you could make a whole necklace of these links. That'd be really pretty. Okay, so we're doing our wrappings. So normally you would just trim it at this point, but we're not going to trim it. We're just going to swirl that wire across the front of our bead. Oh, the chain is out of stock. I'm sorry. Hopefully, maybe Thaisa and Michelle can see if we have any other chain, finished chain in stock, because it is really nice to be able to use. Okay, and we just did a few little wrappings around that previous wrapped area. And we'll tuck our tails. And there is your single red wire wrapped bead. So that's how you would just do it with one bead. And that's really pretty too. You could do a whole sequence of those guys. Okay. And then for this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our wire again. 26, 24. One of the thinner wires is easier. You could probably do this with 22 as well. So we just have a length of wire. I should share how long. 6 inches. It's about 6 inches. And this is a really nice little gift that you can make so easily. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to, again, go a little ways from the end. Go up. Okay, and then what we'll do is we're not going to do our wrappings just yet. We're going to open that up, take the end chain link. Oh, can you wrap only the red bead on the bracelet? Yes, You could definitely wrap only the red bead. You would just, let me show you. Here, I'm gonna do this. So I put the chain in here. I'll show just a sec, just the red bead, what you would do. I could talk you through that one. So after you've linked your chain, so you got one side of chain linked, after you've linked it, you just make a nice couple little wraps and trim it and tuck it. And then I'll come back to this in just a minute. Yes, so if you wanted to just wire wrap the one, you would just do exactly as we started here with wrapping it, just the new length. You just wrap it maybe 3 times around there, stripe it across the front and do 3 more wraps, and then tuck your tail. And you could do that for every red bead. That would be really pretty. That would look so nice. Oh, good, Jane, I'm happy. Okay, all right, so this is what we've got here. And I actually cut way too much wire. 6 inches was too much. We could probably gotten away with 4. And then you can put some crystals on it. You can do just one crystal, like you can have one nice big crystal, or you can do like a bar design. I'm gonna do a bar design. So I've got this sunshine peridot, and I've got 2 bicones, 4mm size. And then I'm gonna do 3 round of this cool blue, kind of a nice blue-green palette here. And I'm just letting these drop. So this is what we've got so far. And I'm gonna do 2 more bicones. And this is gonna be our bar focal for our necklace. So it's a really pretty little bar. Now, what you can do, if you want, is you can, and you know what? You might wanna do this with a 24 or a 26 gauge, or I mean a 24 or even a 22 gauge wire. Make that bar a little bit stiffer. I didn't pull a 24 for the show, but you might want to make this bar wire just a little bit thicker, a little stiffer. Oh no, you thought you were watching a replay? What was I doing that was like a replay? I wouldn't be surprised because I know I've shown this cutting your chain in half technique before because it's one of my favorites. So I'm just going to slip on the other length of chain, close up that loop, and then we're just going to do some wraps. And there's nothing saying you couldn't do the fancy wrap here too. If you had brown beads and the pearls on here, you could definitely do your fancy wrap. Okay, and then we're going to tuck that wire in. So there is a very simple, easy, elegant adjustable bracelets. Oh, you're right. I did do this on adjustable bracelets. Yep, same thing. So here you have a really pretty little bar necklace. And then if you just wanted to make a matching pair of earrings, you would just take, you can do this with 1 bead, 2 beads, however many beads you want to do. But you could just make yourself a pretty little dangly earring to match it. Yeah, I do love that technique. So we just make a little loop, and then we're going to trim it. And then I think I'll just use eye pins, because if you're making gifts, sometimes it's really nice to save time. So we just got a pretty little bead on the bottom. And then what we can do is we can add then a blue bead up top, and then we're going to have enough wire to make another eye pin for ourselves. Here we go. And, oh yeah, so PJ, we're doing these in the afternoons on Monday, because I know not everyone can catch us in the morning. So we're doing Mondays at 2 p.m., which is really fun. And then we made ourselves a little eye pin from our scrap. And I'm just going to grab another blue bead. Oh no, Netta. Oh no, hopefully they're good phone calls. Hopefully they're not spam. Okay. And then I'm just going to link these together and just show you how to link them. Hi, Marie. Okay, so then you just open up your eye pin. You put it, oh, I need a green one. Uh-oh, I did not do a green one. Let me do one more and then we'll link them. All right. Okay, so then we've got another pretty little crystal, and of course the crystals come in a million colors. Well, not a million, but they come in a lot of colors. So if you're making gift sets for, you know, special people in your lives and you want to do their birthstone color, you can do that. Like you could do a pretty amethyst, you could do a sapphire, so you can really customize it that way too. All right, so we made a series of little crystal links, and then we're just going to link these together just via their loops. And then I'll do this one. And you can make this as long as you like. I would probably make it a couple inches because I really like dangly. All right. So here you go. And then we'll just do 4 on this one. So you got a really pretty little crystally dangly earring. And then you just put an earring hook on it. And this is a very easy little gift set to give for the holidays. Or to make for yourself. Give it as a gift for yourself. Well, I think probably it maybe looks really fast. I would probably, if I wasn't trying to get more than one project done, I'd probably take a little bit longer and make sure all my loops are closed up properly. So that's probably a good tip, is take the extra minute that I'm not taking to make sure all your loops are closed up. But they're a really pretty little sparkly earring. So this could be one gift set. So you've got, you can do it with bicones, rounds. These are all 4mm prestige crystals. So you have a bar necklace and a pretty little sparkly earring to match. And then you have, of course, this option if you want to make a pretty little bracelet. You could do it with any type of beads you like. I love the pearls myself, but you've got the pretty little the little pearl bracelet with the matching earrings in an everyday palette, or as we were having fun doing it in a Christmas palette here. And then we were having fun wire wrapping it, of course. And then you can do a matching earring as well. And you can make this shorter or longer, whatever you like. So really fun. If anyone joined us partway through today, you can always go back and watch the replay. It will come available just shortly after we say goodbye. So I am gonna flip the camera back. Oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. I hope this was fun. I hope everyone learned something new. I always hope that everyone learns at least one new thing or has one new idea, something that sparks their creativity. So a quick reminder, everything is 40% off. If you have anything in your shopping bag, please remember to check out. What else? Oh my gosh, I love reading all the comments. It's so much fun. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera up and we can say goodbye until Wednesday. It is so hot out there, guys. All right. Thank you, Marianne. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Netta. Oh my gosh. If you can see, it is warm. It is a warm day here. Thank you, guys. I am so jealous of all of you that have snow and frost. I wish we had that right now. Oh, thank you, Monica. I appreciate that. And Judy and Dee. Yes. Oh, not Wednesday. Sorry, Thursday. I will be here Thursday at 9. Thank you for catching that. Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. You guys have been great with the suggestions. I have a huge list that I keep referring to. So I love that. Like I loved our beaded spiders. I love the pearl idea. You guys have had the best ideas. So I'm going to go back to that list. Thaisa keeps updating it for me. So I love it. Keep up with the ideas and the suggestions. They help me a lot. All right, guys, take care. I will see everyone on Thursday. Bye.